What would you do if you heard your best friend's voice, but he wasn't the one talking? At first, I thought it was just static, a glitch. But then, it answered me. And that's when I knew Mason wasn't the only one listening. We thought we were alone, just two kids sneaking into an abandoned summer camp for a harmless thrill. But something else was already there, watching, waiting. And the moment my walkie-talkie crackled to life, I realized we were never alone. 3 things terrified me that night: the red streaks on the floor, the missing doors, and the walkie-talkie that beeped from the dark. But this wasn't the kind of horror story where something just jumps out at you. No, this was worse, because whatever was in that bathroom, it was waiting for me. This happened about 20 years ago when I was a kid. I was with my best friend Mason, exploring an abandoned summer camp deep in the woods of Alaska. The place was massive, tucked away off a forgotten dirt road, hidden from view. It had everything: a bunch of decaying cabins, a main lodge, several bathhouses, a rusted-out playground, and even an old indoor pool. We found it by accident once while hiking, but we didn't have the nerve to explore it that day. Instead, we waited and came back one evening, just after sunset. We brought flashlights and walkie-talkies to communicate in case we split up. We didn't want to come during the day. Getting caught trespassing wasn't on our to-do list. The cabins were small and mostly identical: 1 or 2 beds, a tiny kitchen, a single bathroom. Some had little sitting areas, but most were trashed, full of rotting furniture and graffiti. At some point, I split off from Mason. He was moving slowly, taking his time in each cabin, and I was eager to see more. I made my way toward what looked like the main lodge, hoping to get inside. Every door was locked. I pressed the button on my walkie-talkie. "Mason, the big building's locked." No response. I figured maybe I was out of range. Shrugging it off, I wandered toward one of the 2 bathhouses. Small concrete structures set a little apart from the cabins. They were about 400 square feet each, one for men, one for women. But something was off. The doors were gone. Both entryways were just wide, gaping openings. Above them, the faded remains of men and women were barely legible. As I stepped closer, my flashlight caught something on the dirty tile floor: red streaks. I won't claim they were blood, but they were weird, uneven, smeared as if someone or something had dragged through them. A chill ran through me. I lifted my walkie-talkie again. "Mason, where are you?" As soon as I let go of the button, I heard the beep that signals an incoming message. Only it came from inside the women's bathroom. My breath hitched, my pulse pounded in my ears. For a second, I thought Mason had beaten me here, that maybe those marks were his. I hesitated before calling out, "Mason?" My voice echoed off the concrete walls. No answer. Then from somewhere behind me in the dark, I heard him yell back, "I never went in there." I froze. The air felt thick, electric. My legs wobbled as I stepped away from the entrance. My hand trembled as I lifted the walkie-talkie again. I pressed the talk button, then let go. Beep. The sound came again, from deep inside the pitch-black bathroom. Mason and I locked eyes for a split second before we bolted. We didn't stop running until we were back on the main road, gasping for air, hands on our knees. That's when Mason told me what happened to him. While searching a cabin, he had tried to radio me, but I never answered. He figured we were too far apart. Then he heard movement behind him. When he turned, his flashlight landed on an old woman, running straight at him. Panic shot through him. He dropped his walkie-talkie and flashlight and tore out of the cabin, sprinting blindly through the trees. He didn't stop until he spotted my flashlight near the bathhouses. The only explanation we could come up with was that some drug addict or squatter was hiding in that bungalow, got startled, and chased him. Maybe she picked up his walkie-talkie and brought it into the bathroom for some reason. But that still doesn't explain the red streaks, or why she stayed silent in the dark. Even now, I still don't have all the answers, and that's the scariest part.